Hey everybody, it's Tanner and welcome back to Steampunks for another video. Now, a common misconception for new gamers is that you have to spend a lot of money on your game collection. While AAA $80 titles make this partially true, you can still find some quality games to add to your library that will only cost you a few bucks. No, these won't be epic adventures through open worlds, but they're still worth your money, and taking a few hours to play. There are tons of games on Steam in the under $5 category, and these are just a few from my library that have given me hours of enjoyment without breaking my budget. So without further ado, here's top 5 under 5 on Steam. Kung Fury Street Rage was released alongside the 30-minute short film Kung Fury. The movie is pretty fantastic, and the game launched alongside it is pretty fun as well. The game lets you play as the main characters, standing in the middle of the screen, and fighting off waves of enemies that are coming in from both sides. The game takes on the form of an old arcade machine, and that's pretty much how it plays as well. The mechanics aren't very complex, and this is more about putting your high score on the board. You can pick up Kung Fury Street Rage on Steam for $3. Nightmare Tower is a rogue-type game where the game is broken into runs. On these runs, you collect loot, and then at the end of your run, the loot you collected is used to buff your character in preparation for your next run. You play as a knight as he's rocketed up the tower to save several damsels in distress. While you're launching up the tower, however, you will have to combat enemies that attack you from below. Take too much damage or lose your momentum and you'll fall back down the tower and your run will end. The gameplay is very fast-paced and fun, and there are a few hidden secrets for players to discover as they go along. Once you complete the main game, there's even a survival mode to put your skills to the test. Nightmare Tower, again, is only $3 on Steam, so go check it out. Reveal the Deep is a dark, claustrophobic adventure story game. You take control of a deep-sea explorer as you make your way into the belly of a sunken ship. The ship itself is full of puzzles and is seemingly alive. As you explore the hidden depths, you'll come across old documents from the crew that slowly but surely paint a horrible picture of what happened to this sunken vessel. It truly is one of the more expansive games in the under $5 category, and the game is capable of building suspense and fright that is hard to find in other indie titles. This game is definitely worth being on your radar. Anyone who was sitting through the second grade in the 90s should remember the famous, or I guess infamous, Oregon Trail, or for my Canadian brethren, Cross Country Canada. These games feature similar mechanics. They feature people traveling from one side of the country to the other while having to manage resources and plan your voyage without casualty. These games were predominantly for teaching kids about geography, history, but this Steam game takes it in a whole new direction. Oregon Trail is basically the same kind of idea, but instead of traversing the open country, it's instead infested with zombies. The government is setting up to drop nukes on large parts of the country, regardless of human life in the area. In order to survive, you and some other survivors will have to cross the United States to get to the safe zone. Just don't get eaten along the way. Patron is a modern adaptation of Nokia's famous Snake game. Yeah, you remember those from those old cell phones. Anyway, Patron ups the challenge from those classic puzzlers quite a bit. Your snake is always in motion, and with the stroke of a single key, you are to maneuver your snake through various obstacle courses. Just like the classic Snake, this game gets super challenging when your snake becomes longer. The art is simplistic, the music is great, and the challenge is never ending. Make sure you're willing to buy a new keyboard though. This simple snake game can get that kind of frustrating. For only $3, it's yours on Steam. Hey everybody, if you enjoyed this video, then please leave us a like and maybe think about subscribing to Steampunks. I really like the under $5 category on Steam, so this probably won't be the last video in that kind of series. As always, you can find us on the social media, and here's some more content that I think you might enjoy. Until next time, guys.